This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with our prize guy. We're here in Letterkenny for Rumble in the Hills. Today we're joined by victorious, I'm trying to think, is it Tiernan Bradley, is it Eoghan Lavin? But they've been joined by victorious Eoghan Lavin, who moves to 7-0 tonight. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any of you. I just told you before we started there, but I guess your immediate reaction to your third professional stoppage?
Yeah, look, I'm buzzing. I said it coming into the fight. I was knocking him out. I couldn't afford for another draw or another point. Look, not that there's a big emphasis on knockouts, but it's just general people coming up to me saying, how many knockouts? They don't realise how tough these men are. And you get the right opponent. Like my last opponent, it was a last minute step in. He was a southpaw. We hadn't trained for southpaw. I was carrying a back injury. That it was just to play it safe and get through on points. And he was very clever at making the fight boring and keeping away. That guy is just known for being tough to the Zulgas. And he knocked out Walter Fury. He knocked out Jack Oliphant. So he's dangerous enough to the point where we can go back now and say, look, he knocked you out. We knocked him out. We're levels above Ali. So that was what I wanted tonight, and thankfully we got it.
I was saying to you there before we started the interview, I was probably expecting that fight was going to go 6 rounds, because I've seen Chris Zulkas quite a few times, and they can be dangerous, they can be very tricky to navigate, and I would have probably said that if you were maybe 1-0 fighting him, it could have been a totally different fight, because you get into a fire fight with him, which is what you don't want. So you're able to bank on the early experience you have as a pro to go, you can do your work and get out before he can throw his big bombs.
Yeah, look, it's that, and I'm well guided. The shots we had worked on pads before we come out, there'll probably be a couple of little videos of it. So the exact shots, I hit him with a couple of jabs, a couple of stabs, dropped the body a few times. He didn't like the body shot, didn't like the jab. That left him open then for that right hand down to chop on. And if I catch anyone with that, as I told you when I knocked Jan Bollag out in Dublin with a body shot, it's all right knocking at these lads, but I'll do the same to higher level opponents. And look, he's a really tough man. Higher level opponents are not as tough as them, most of them. And he told me that I've never been hurt. I've never been hurt like that before. I've never been hit so hard. That's a lot of praise to me. So I'm delighted with it now.
Is it a statement, sort of? Is it like a statement of intent in some ways? Because a lot of people don't stop him. So by you stopping him, you're sort of going to them, well, he's given a lot of people tough night's work. He's taken prospects and beaten them. So in a lot of ways for you, that's a statement of your intent moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and it's happened with other men that I fought before. The records might look amazing, but you see, right, okay, he's beaten him in his last couple of fights. He's beat this guy. Their statements then for me, when I can come out and do a job on them, say, look, I'm not one of these hyped up prospects they'll talk shite for a while about and then it'll just fade off. I'm a genuine real fighter. I put my whole life on the line. I moved from Mayo to Manchester just to train, just to box. So I'm not looking to do it just to, muck about and pretend to be a pro. Whereas I think a lot of people pretend to be pros. They live at home and they live comfortable and they'll fight these men and they'll do all right. And then all of a sudden they'll get caught out when one of these men show up and try to beat them. Whereas that's not happening with me. I'm coming to win all the time, no matter who's there. I'm coming to make a statement and win the fight.
You sort of seem to be doing a tour of Ireland at the moment. Obviously Belfast, Letterkenny, Dublin, Waterford. I guess there's one there that you really, really want, and hopefully, whether I've
got to say, listen, we didn't expect that. We came here to give him a challenge, and you know what? You caught him with a very good shot. A very good shot. That's a good shot, quality shot.
Just saying, he's a tough man. So we're expecting
listen, we don't usually fall like that for nothing. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, well done.
I was just saying, they own there as well. Like, I was expecting a tough 6 rounds for him tonight.
I don't put my name to nothing. I don't back shit. You know what I mean? I come over here to give him a test. You know, it's simple as that. I wanted to beat you.
Yeah.
I did. Or at least give you a good test.
A good gun.
Okay? Yeah. I'll tell you what it is. You pass your test.
Good man.
All the best for the future.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
Nice to get praise. You don't have to pay for it, Eoghan.
Of course, yeah, definitely. I'll have to, my missus will argue with him now and a bit.
But it's sort of, I mentioned there, you've done Letterkenny, you've done Belfast, you've done Waterford, you've done Dublin, you want Mayo. I know you've sort of talked to this in other interviews, but like, how possible probably is it for you in 2026?
I don't see a reason why it can't go ahead. Look, I done tickets. You see, you heard that they're loud fuckers anywhere they go. They were loud in London on my debut, they were loud in Dublin, they were loud here. They're good supporters, but I've not tapped into a fraction of the market in Mayo. Mayo are the best supporters you'll find. They're ridiculously, they're crazy. Just look at Mayo GAA. we get the show on there next year, which I'm 100% confident is going to happen. I'm waiting now to go back and speak. Off that result, we should have a big fight before Christmas. We should have a good fight lined up, an exciting fight. When this fight came up to us from Jason, obviously, look, this is a ticket deal this time. Normally I fight with Queensberry. I took this in a ticket deal because it's close to thingy, and I was excited to fight in Letterkenny because it's similar to Mayo. It's similar to putting on a show in Mayo. Mayo and Donegal are very similar. So there's no reason, if this show can go on here and it looks to be a great success, there's no reason why we can't headline a big show back in Mayo and fucking run it to the max.
You're doing like the sort of, I remember the early days of Anthony Joshua. Obviously, I know you're not Anthony Joshua, you're not a heavyweight, you're not an Olympian and things like that. But like, he went on a bit of a roadshow and obviously went to different places. Like, in some ways, you might go, Letterkenny, Waterford, why not Mayo? But that's really building in the household name where people all over this island know exactly who you are. So when you do have your homecoming, it works out even better for you.
Of course, look, Mayo was small, Ireland is small, so you know, I'm from Mayo and I'm constantly pushing that I'm from Mayo because it's never really pushed. But if I was from Dublin, they wouldn't say Dublin, they'd say Ireland. Katie Taylor's from Bray, they don't say Bray, they say Ireland. So to box anywhere in Ireland is good. And I'm not ignorant enough to know that where I am in my career, I'm in the apprenticeship still. I'm just building it up, taking tests, like he said. And I'll fight anywhere, I don't care at this stage. Obviously, when you first go pro, you're thinking, I want to box in all these big shows, and you get all these ideas. And then you learn how pro boxing works, and it's any fight you can get, you take. There's never been a fight put to me that I've said no to, so the more they keep coming, the better, the happier I'll be.
I'm going to try and quiz you a wee bit without getting you to give me too much information, but does it look like December, Manchester, Derek Chisora card?
Hopefully, who knows? We'll see now. It should be a big one. We'll just have one call now when we go back in and confirm that it's all going ahead, and in the next week or so we'll be back in camp.
You've been close to a Chisora card, I think, before in Manchester. The only reason to say that because I know of other Irish fighters potentially been on that card. So, like that finishes off a brilliant 2025 for you to get the first fight of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm behind on fights this year, so this was great just to keep active on this fight. It was a short turnaround. I come home, and they were saying after my last one, "Oh, you might not be out till next year now." And I was like, "Fuck this! I need to be out at least once this year, if not twice." So then I was back at home and got the call about Donegal. I said, "Yeah, 100%." So we took that. I think we had 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whatever it was, and got back in camp. And hopefully now we can get this one in before the end of the year, and then we finished off a good year.
When you're sort of saying like, is it maybe a potential fight against another Frank Bourne / Queensberry fighter? Like, what sort of step up of opposition? I know you're not allowed to give too much away until it's released, but like, is it something for you to really wet your lips over?
We'll see, to be honest. I don't know, and that's just being straight up and honest. I actually haven't even looked at it yet, but they keep teasing about step ups and this, that, and the. We'll see. There's not too many that'll step up with me, so we'll see who's there. But definitely, I'm happy to move on as quick as I can. It's a big thing for me next year, early next year. I want to be Youth World Champion. So obviously I want to get up in the rounds. It's another 6 tonight. Get straight up, get on to the 10 rounders and win that Youth World title and hopefully do it in Mayo.
I'd sort of seen something about the Youth World title, like you do have a time limit sort of on that as well, so it's not like, I can do it in a couple of years, like you have a time limit that's counting down for you now.
Yes, I'm 22 now, I'm 23 in March, and then I think you can win it up until 24. One is 24 and I think the other body is 25, but either way I want them next year and then move on to bigger things, hopefully. Yeah.
And finally, obviously, on that atmosphere in Letterkenny tonight, you've probably more people in the fan club now. You'll go and look on social media and you have a few new followers. That's all part of this process for you. And I know you're sort of going, and we've sort of touched on already, but Mayo.
Yeah.
But when you're entertaining people in Letterkenny, knocking people out, that's only going to do good things for you.
The Irish community is very strong in Ireland, in the UK, in Manchester. Like, the Irish community get behind me a lot. So to box everywhere in Ireland is great. The more people that follow me, the better. The more people that are on the journey, the better. So I'm excited. Like, Rhys Owens is going in now. I boxed with Rhys years ago in America, all over the place, and all his supporters were clapping for me and stuff as well, so it was great.
Well, look, congratulations, obviously, on another stoppage victory. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you do get that fight news in December. But obviously, if not, enjoy your Christmas, and we'll hopefully catch up with you soon.
Gentlemen, we'll talk to you before then.
Cheers, Owen, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.